A star was born. For 18 years in a row, the people liked it best. Once again this fall, it will shine into millions of homes. Once again, you'll see the best CBS. And once again, all of your favorites will be back.
A Ted Baxter exclusive starring Ted Baxter.
Ladies and gentlemen, hello, and welcome to a Ted Baxter exclusive. Now, today I'm proud and privileged to have the rare pleasure of playing host to all of the stars of returning CBS shows.
Come on, Silver Tongue, let's go.
I'll be conducting in-depth interviews and asking the kinds of questions that America has come to expect from this reporter. Let's say hello to the stars.
Hi, y'all out there in TV land. Hello, Mother.
This is Dr. Gannon. I'm Barnaby Jones.
I am Jane's kid named Black in the cellar.
It's a pleasure to have you all here. Is everybody comfortable?
I'm gonna go make some coffee.
It's a good idea, Bob. We all have our own personal heroes. Perhaps it'd be interesting to find out who the stars look up to.
Doris Day Nixon.
Jimmy Brown Shaft.
And broads.
I used to dream about marrying Errol Flynn.
I hate men! I hate all men! I hate every man who was ever born into this rotten, stinking world!
Carol hates me.
Everybody really loves you.
I know.
Of course, you all know who I look up to. My closest and dearest friend and colleague, Walter Cronkite. Oh, but right now I'd like to show you some movies that I took at a glamorous Hollywood party, given in my honor the last time I was on the coast. Would you roll the film, boys?
Look who's here.
Sweetheart. Darling.
Right on time, just like always.
Could you back up and build up to that a little more?
You've been drinking.
Well, how did he get a hold of it?
Right now, I couldn't care less.
I'll tell you one thing, I never knew anybody called Mike looks as good as you do.
That's the way to do it. Skip the ceremony, get right to the essentials.
Oh, look at that.
Let's drink to it.
Champagne tickles my nose.
Why don't you give me a beer?
Be careful with that hot coffee. You almost burned your bra.
D-A-D-D-Y is drinking B-O-O-Z-E.
You were in the bathroom for 45 minutes.
I got consummated. I'll let you get in there.
That was a real wingding.
It sure was, McLean. And now it's time for you out there to ask some questions. My first letter is from Mrs. E.W. of Marysville. Dear Ted, you're so handsome. Why don't you have your own series?
She's just a woman who's worried to death about something she can't understand.
That's exactly what I'm getting at.
And here's one from the 5th grade class at the Millard Fillmore Elementary School in Pawtucket, Rhode Island. We want to know what advice you would give to someone who wants to get into show business.
You ought to be on a food-free diet.
You know what my father always used to say?
If you're making time in the hallway, don't lean up against no doorbell.
Like you've been seeing too many movies.
Sound advice, John boy. And now for my last letter. Mr. Ted B. of Minneapolis writes, who is your favorite TV anchorman?
You're kidding.
Seriously, though, you guys, this is really a serious question that I think everyone should answer.
I don't want any part of it. My lips are sealed.
Forget it. Sorry.
No, thanks.
You jiving.
Well, I hope you enjoyed this in-depth interview. It's time to say goodnight.
Good morning. Good afternoon.
Let's go, baby, bye.
Okay, gentlemen, let's get on it.
Good night, Fatso.
Till next time, this is Ted B. in Minneapolis saying, next fall, see the best. CBS.
Got to agree with that.
How'd you think it went, Mayor? How'd you think it went, Mayor? How did you think it went?
Dynamite!
This season, there'll be bright new stars in the evening sky.
It was a very special kind of time. It was the last period of innocence the country's known. We just finished with a war. we really had nothing to worry about except ourselves, our homes, our 2 cars, our television sets. For those of us who were teenagers, the clothes on our backs.
1 for the money, 2 for the show, 3 to get ready. Now go, cat, go.
I suppose in hindsight, it's easy to look back and say, hey, didn't we dress funny then, or didn't we behave peculiarly then? But it wasn't peculiar to us at that time.
Can you dance? I do great dips.
What we're going to be concentrating on are the people in the show. People who at that time had a certain set of values which we hope to reflect.
All the things you said to me about respect for myself, for my body. All of a sudden, I'm supposed to do as you say and not as you do. Anita, things are just not that black and white. You raised me in black and white.
So what we're going to be trying to do is show the 50s as they were from the point of view of the people as they went through them. But we've all gone through the same thing. We've all had our first date, our first car, our first kiss.
There are facets of Jeff Reed and Anita Kramer which apply to people that age today, and in any decade, actually.
Do you always drive like this?
Yes, I'm a very careful driver.
Any slower and we'd be parked.
There are things that Jeff Reed experiences that everyone in that age group experiences. The pain, the frustration, the fear, the tremendous growing up and learning period that those years provide.
You mad?
No! No, I'm not mad. No. You know, I really don't know what I am. You've got me very confused, and I really...
The bittersweet memories of growing up. We've all been sons and daughters. Who is Paul Sand?
Isn't he one of those guys messed up with Watergate?
I don't know. I think he's a hockey player.
How the hell do I know? Never heard of the guy.
I think he was my sister-in-law's second husband, but I'm really not sure.
I don't know. Wasn't he married to Zerzak Gabor?
Paul Sands, he's an actor. I think I've seen him on Gunsmoke.
Who is Paul Sand? Really?
You may have seen me on the Carol Burnett show, and well, maybe you didn't. And then I did Story Theater on Broadway. You might have seen that, and but well, anyway, maybe you didn't. And I did some movies. I did Hot Rock, and I did Every Little Crook and Nanny. Now I've got my own show, and since my name is Paul Sand, naturally they're calling it Friends and Lovers.
No, get on! No, stop it! What am I supposed to say to a girl I haven't talked to in 3 years? Can I come over?
Look at all this beautiful furniture. Any of this stuff yours?
No.
Thank God.
Listen, I'm in the kitchen making spaghetti. You want to watch?
Terrific. I think I saw pictures of this place once. In House and Swamp.
Anyway, but this is really the kind of a part that I can sink my teeth into. Hello? The character I play in the show is a witty, urbane fellow who plays the bass violin with the Boston Symphony Orchestra.
I feel terrific, really confident, because, Charlie, tomorrow I am going to get the job that I have wanted all my life.
That's great. I love that confidence. How many guys are up against you? 3, 4, 50?
Paul Sand.
Paul who?
This fall, everyone will know. Paul Sand in Friends and Lovers.
Justice declared war on public enemies. Outlaws like Dillinger falling before the guns of G-men. Proof that crime does not pay.
The time is the early 30s. And the system wasn't working. Banks had no money. The factories were closing down. The farmers were being put off their land. In their rage, they tried to find ways to strike back, and they were helpless. And they started to create folk heroes. And the folk heroes were rather ugly.
We come to rob your little bank, folks.
Dave Barrett found that the victims of the predators were people like himself, like his family. In the end, they were the ones who died. In the end, they were the ones who paid the price.
What was it, Barrett? Had courage? $1,000 reward.
Hey, you crazy!
Her name was Susan. She was mother of 2 kids. She's dead. That's Paul, her husband. He may die yet. This is Wilcox Barnes. He's lucky. All he lost was some money. See those people? They were near killed. You still don't want to know my reason for doing it, mister.
Dave Barrett represents the side of law and order and trying to deal with the realities of those criminal heroes and tracks them down one at a time. He's well equipped for it, knows how to handle weapons. He has the instincts of a hunter.
You're going after them, then?
Hunting's something you taught me, Pa. Learn the habits of the animal, read the signs, track, chase, set traps, and deal with it whatever way you have to bring it down.
He's a man of few words, a man of the country and a man of action. That also fits the way he detects criminals and the way he tracks them down and the way he pursues his own job. There were very few people who weren't intimidated by the gangsters of the 30s. That's why he takes the job. I guess what he is a hero.
The Manhunter. Rhoda, that very funny girl from the Mary Tyler Moore Show, is on her own.
When Jim and I were creating Mary's Show, it seemed to us we needed somebody to play against her. We wanted somebody big city, aggressive, witty.
Just once, I would love to see the man from Glad stuff Mrs. Olson into a giant bag.
Rhoda's just, you know, kind of funny. She sees a lot of funny things in life.
Will you do it? Will you take care of my darling goldfish? Do I have to flush it down the toilet?
She's another woman right now. She's more mature.
Not as insecure as she used to be, particularly about men, about herself.
I'm going to do it this week skiing. Maybe I'll get mistaken for Ally McGraw. Terminal but cute.
Much improved, but still not all the way home. You know, she's still schlepping through life.
This garbage is counterfeit. I mean, I have $35 worth of makeup in here, and if I throw this away, I will lose that natural look.
Rhoda is going back to her origins, a totally new person, and that's going to be kind of interesting.
Mary, you know, something's just occurring to me. Tomorrow morning, I will be leaving Minneapolis, which, strange as it sounds, is my home, where my friends are, to go to New York, where my friends aren't, where the only 2 people I know anymore are my parents, which is another story entirely.
She's going to meet that man, you know, who she has been looking for sort of off and on for the 4 years of Mary's Show.
Mr. and Mrs. Martin Morgenstern are relieved to announce the their eldest living daughter, Rhoda Fay.
Valerie Harper stars as Rhoda. Caught up in a strange vortex of energy during a celestial probe, the 2 astronauts were propelled through the time barrier. They landed 2,000 years after their takeoff on a strange continent that had once been known as Earth. From one of the most successful motion pictures ever made comes an exciting new television series, Planet of the Apes.
Planet of the Apes takes place on Earth, but some 2,000 years from now, there's been some sort of cataclysm that's changed the whole complexity of the planet. We find that the whole world is turned upside down, that when civilization regenerated itself, the apes became the dominant members of society. We're creating a world that never existed, so we have plenty of latitude both in the behavior of people, the society we're creating, the way it looks, the way we see civilization regenerating itself is with the apes, of course, at the top. The center of government is Ape City, where there are just a few humans who work as clerks and servants. Most of the humans live in comparatively rural communities. There are many special and difficult production problems. Foremost is that of the ape makeup. It takes close to 4 weeks to get an ape made up. First, we have to start with a gooey plaster substance and make a mask of the face. Then when that hardens, it's cast to mold. And on that mold, the facial characteristics of the simians are built. We spend somewhere between 3.5 and 4 hours putting these appliances onto the ape characters. The show is going to have a very strong philosophic base. For the Planet of the Apes is a world regenerating itself from our own civilization, mirroring in a strange way what's both good and bad about our own lives. And our two astronauts are going to find themselves in a world where evolution has gone completely haywire.
Roddy McDowell, Ron Harper, and James Martin star in Planet of the Apes. The celestial excitement of the silver screen comes to television. As always, the CBS Thursday and Friday night movies will present an impressive lineup of successful motion pictures, including an all-time comedy favorite that sired a successful television series.
Check this place out. See what the nurses are like.
Oh, Frank, my lips are hot. Oh,
I'm trying to share this with the rest of us.
Frank! Oh, Frank! Wait a second.
Don't you use olives? We do have to make certain concessions to the war. We're 3 miles from the front line.
I wonder how a degenerated person like that could have reached a position of responsibility in the Army Medical Corps.
He was drafted.
Donald Sutherland and Elliot Gould in a bizarre, funny, mobile Army surgical hospital, MASH.
This isn't a hospital! It's an insane asylum!
The powerful screen version of a Pulitzer Prize-winning play.
Now, most white folks, of course, are behind the white hope. But you, Jack Jefferson, are you the black hope?
I'm black and I'm hoping.
How would you like it if he claims the belt's his because you won't fight him? How would you like it if the whole country says, Brady let us down. He let a loudmouth be champion of the world.
I'm gonna fight. I got my turn to be the champion of the world. I'm taking my turn.
You're not your own man anymore, Jack.
Now you're Rhoda.
How can you be your own man when they have you? They do and you know it.
James Earl Jones. The Great White Hope. A chilling glimpse at society in the not-too-distant future.
This is the police. The supply of Soylent Green has been exhausted. Return to your home.
Edward G. Robinson.
How do we come to this?
In this grim world, knowing the secret of life means death. Charlton Heston.
Just do what you have to do.
We've got to stop them! Please!
Soylent Green.
You're being robbed by the John Dillinger gang. That's the best there is.
The film chronicle of one of history's most desperate punks.
What do you think of this jail? Ain't no jail to hold me.
Cloris Leachman, Ben Johnson.
This could be one of the big moments in your life.
And Warren Oates.
Don't make it your last. Yeah, all my buddies wanted to be firemen or farmers or policemen. Not me. I just want to steal people's money.
Dillinger.
3,500 going twice. 3,500 third and last.
So, for $400.
Come on, Jason. Let's go.
The hilarious story of the slickest con the West has ever seen. And the partners who brought it off.
Grab him. You
a servant of the Lord.
James Garner, Edward Asner, and Lou Gossett, Skin Game. In addition, outstanding motion pictures made especially for television.
What you got there? Snakes.
A scientific mission becomes a floating death chamber.
The valve's jammed. Emergency. Organs. Emergency blow, everything!
Here it comes. It's a killer crash.
Trapped at 2,000 feet with 2 deadly cargoes. David Jansen and Hope Lang, Fer de Lance. Also, encore presentations of highly acclaimed films. All 5 epic dramas of man versus ape. Major stars and compelling stories. The CBS Thursday and Friday night movies. This year, CBS plays host to truly stellar attractions. The Bicentennial Minutes, daily salute to our American heritage. 4 different actors in distinguished portrayals of Benjamin Franklin. The American Parade, the Entertainer of the Year Awards, the Grammy Awards, the Country Music Awards. The American Film Institute salutes one of motion picture's greatest stars. Brand new animated specials in the adventures of Dr. Seuss. Good Old Charlie Brown. The 2,000-Year-Old Man starring Mel Brooks and Carl Reiner. And Rudyard Kipling's classic, The Jungle Book. Beauty on Parade with Miss Teenage America, Miss Universe, and America's Junior Miss Pageants. The finest in family drama, The Easter Promise. A warm story of a Mexican boy, Antonio and the mayor. An exciting adventure, The Runaways. 3 magnificently produced Smithsonian Institute documentaries by David L. Wolper. The Tournament of Roses Parade. Outstanding drama on Playhouse 90. GE Theater. The first TV movie musical, The Queen of the Stardust Ballroom with Maureen Stapleton. 3 specials starring the Walton family. An encore presentation of the 9 Emmy winner, the autobiography of Miss Jane Pittman. Glittering television personalities like Perry Como, Bing Crosby and Friends, the Osmonds, Doris Day, Sandy Duncan, the one and only Carol Burnett, and television's queen of comedy, Lucille Ball. A very special season on CBS. CBS Sports, all the action. This fall, see the best CBS. Our star is bright every single night.